What's going on? It's your favorite cup of tea. We're here with another episode of Spill the Tea TV. I have an original ATLian, Cam James.
Yeah.
Okay, so let them know where they can find you on social media.
You can find me at camjames.wave on Instagram and Cam James Wave without the dot on Twitter.
Okay, .wave. Like, people be like .com, .org, .something else. Why .wave?
.wave is the audio, an audio file that's, delivered for, top-notch audio processing for music and stuff like that. So it's just a clever way to let people know that I make music.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. And it's a clever way to let people know that you're like, I feel like when you say .wave, like you're just creative, like, cause that's audio. So like audio is good with visual.
Yeah. Yeah. No, audio is it is good with visual. Yeah, that's true. It's a good
no,
point.
So your aesthetics with like your cover art, your photos, your visuals, everything is like to the T. And I just tweeted, I was like, I can't wait for like indies to become like the new mainstream, like indies of quality.
Oh, absolutely.
So I could tell everything about you is of quality, from like the projects to the videos.
Yeah, and it's been a process, you know what I'm saying? Like we were just talking about cameras, and it's really like I literally had the same camera like years ago, and I just kept upgrading. And it's the same.
Okay, basically he's trying to say my camera weak. Okay, so I got a T3i Rebel. He has, some 6K Hollywood type, Tyler Perry type shit. Okay, so he basically saying my shit old, and he had my camera years ago. I know, but my man's invested $6K into his camera, just to record his own videos.
That's just the camera, man. Like there's attachments and accessories, and then the lighting and the equipment that goes attached to the camera, the lenses, and it's a lot. But for me, like my philosophy has always been, money is just it's just a tool. You know what I'm saying? Like more is gonna come, so like getting over attached to it is a weakness in this business because everything costs money.
Pretty much.
So like you have to just determine what's worth it and what's not worth it.
Especially are you gonna pay like a videographer, or are you gonna just, do it yourself? And we are in a DIY generation. Speaking of the DIY, I feel like your music isn't hood, it isn't trap, it isn't for the clubs. It's probably not like I know Atlanta's like big on like dancing and stuff like that. I know it probably doesn't fit into any of those realms. So the more DIY, I don't want to say hipster side of Atlanta, but I feel like it's not that trap sound that typically was played on the radio or what people think of Atlanta when they think of like our music.
For sure.
So like, how would you describe like Tomorrow May Not Come? Like when somebody press play, how would you just describe like the sounds, like the feels that people would get?
For sure, yeah. It starts with storytelling with me. The groups that made me want to rap in the first place was Outkast for one, and Nas. And so like, I know one thing that everybody can relate to in Atlanta is Outkast. And so that was kind of the group that raised me, and it was like the diversity and the creativity in their music was what inspired me, and the storytelling first and foremost. Like they have classics, like absolute classics that kind of fly under the radar next to the So Fresh, So Clean joints that also tells a story. But storytelling was one of their main gifts.
Yes.
And like so was it's the same thing with Nas from the completely different side of the country. Storytelling was what like catapulted him to superstardom in the first place. And so with me, it's just like from track one, I'm throwing you into the middle of a story, and it's like a highway chase. You know what I'm saying? Like
I was just gonna ask about that.
Got a recorder, and it's hardcore, it's storytelling, but it's like you won't get bored listening to my album. You know what I'm saying?
So it's like reading a book, but you're like listening to it, because like you had some church scenes. I know you had like, you from Atlanta, so you had to throw at least like one, Pizza Poppin' Club joint in there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I got twerk joint, and you know what I'm saying, and like the bedroom bangers, and like So the diversity was important for me on this. It's like, look, I can tell a story, but I can also make hits. Like that was the point of this album.
Got you, and I totally get it, because the three that I pointed out, it was Options, On Me, and was it Body?
It was Body.
Yeah. Like those three are definitely three that I could see being picked up by playlists or picked up by like the mainstream. Like those were lit, and I like how you opened it up, and it's like instead of like what a police chasing you, it's like a girl chasing you.
Yeah.
Like kind of personifying like a police is like a woman chasing you, and it's like It ain't supposed to be that way, ladies. Don't chase these niggas. But why do you have her chasing you?
Because I had never heard of anything like that. When I'm making an album, when I'm making these skits for my album, I'm always like, okay, what have I never heard anybody else do? And so like, there's plenty of songs where the cops are chasing somebody, right?
Okay.
But never one where a woman is chasing a man and they're both being chased by the cops. Like that scenario I've never heard anybody do that on a song.
Right.
So what excites me about making music is at this point I've made hundreds of songs, right? So you have to keep finding things that excite you about the creative process. And so doing something that nobody else has ever done is pretty damn exciting. Like that's what allows me to keep doing this over and over and make new songs. And I like to push the boundaries of what I've seen other artists do.
And then you really can't grow if you don't like challenge yourself.
Exactly.
Like, and then especially, you know, being an artist, you really want to find out what people like too, like the most of yours. So
Absolutely.
I definitely dig the diversity, and that kept me engaged, because a lot of people's projects typically in Atlanta is the same, you know, the same box, same cadence, same, you know, all that. So I love the versatility.
Hey,
so
man.
that's why I tweeted what I did, said about it being dope.
I appreciate that. No, for real. Like, it was important to me when people listen through. Like, no fillers is kind of my motto when making projects. I don't like when the people throw tracks on their projects and it's just there to fill space.
Right.
Like, I want every track to mean something, for all of them to be like. People came to me after I dropped this and were like, every single song has a person that told me it's their favorite. So like, that's what I wanted to come from this. Like every song from the intro to the outro, somebody's like, yeah, that's my favorite. Like,
it's something for everybody, basically.
Exactly.
Okay,
exactly.
I love that. And it was very cohesive too. It all flowed together and everything made sense.
Yeah, that's what I set out to do. And it looks like I achieved that. So now really it's like, okay, how do I get more people to listen to it? Like that's
How do
it.
you get more people to listen to it?
Yeah.
So one thing you did do to get people to just rock with you in general, I remember you used to have to come through the events.
Slide through, yeah.
Slide through.
Yeah.
And I remember seeing them, like I was getting emails, but I could never make any of them. But just like talking to you right now, you seem pretty animated. Like you seem like, you know, you might be cool to hang out with.
Oh yeah,
so
sure. I like to think so.
What were the? He said, I like to think so.
Tyler was like, no.
He's like, oh, he's great. Psych. So like, what were your events like? Like, what did I miss out?
Oh man, Slide Through is crazy. We just had our 1 year anniversary, and so we had 8 events in that 1 year, and so most of them are free, right?
Okay.
And we had a massive concert at the end of January this year. That was our first like paid ticketed event.
Okay.
And then we had a donation-based event for Juneteenth where we were giving back to transgender women,
my favorite
charities,
holiday.
and like so like we were giving back on that one, and so we kind of like to switch up the format, switch up the venues every single time. And so we started with a pool party. We had like a loft party after that. And then it was just like, and I had catered food at that one. And so I've kept trying things out, but ultimately it was because I'm introverted at heart, right?
Okay.
And I don't like clubs like that.
Okay.
So I decided to create my own event series that caters to the type of parties I like to go to.
Okay.
And which is essentially like familiar house parties with people I know and like, you know what I'm saying? And it grows. It's strangers every time.
Wow,
like new people
you
come
created
through
your
every time.
own space.
That's it. I created my own space that I love to go to, and so I'm excited about these parties because it's my dream party, and it just so happens that everybody else likes it. So like that's how it's grown, and now it's just at a point where it's helping feed into what we're doing with music.
Okay, and you're actually building that community with your music too.
Exactly.
So, yo, I don't know. I think I really didn't read through the emails or something, but you, like, if you would have mentioned cater food, I would have, like, canceled the flight. You know what I'm saying? Like, food, I would have been in that thing. You know what I'm saying? But when you do have them again, I'm going to come through for sure, because I didn't know they got, like, that exclusive, like, the, like, loft parties and pool parties. Who you think you is?
Hey, we do it big. We do it big, and now we're trying to expand, you know what I'm saying? Like, after the first year anniversary, we're like, okay, maybe we try ticketed again, and it's like really cheap tickets, but we were able to provide them with bigger venues and like a better experience, and maybe food just like comes with the ticket moving forward. So we're continuing to try new things and just keep it blowing up. Like that's our only goal, is to make it bigger now.
Okay, make it bigger and bigger. I can't wait to see it.
Yeah.
So I know like a couple of my favorite tracks on your project had like Joel and Hi Alex on them. So and you all are a part of a collective.
Yes.
So like what's up with that? Like how did you all link and like what's like the purpose of like, you guys getting together?
So this label is Art by Sound.
Oh, label,
excuse
me.
It's a label. We're actually going through the process of making it literally as a business, a label right now. And so essentially Ant-Man, Anthony White, my business partner and like producer.
Okay.
I met him last year, and we had been working solo, like kind of in parallel ways for years, and we had collabed a few times. But I determined in the process of being a solo artist for so many years, like I don't want to do this alone.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like even if
and
I
you kind of can't.
You kind of can't. Like you reach a certain level of success, and I don't want to be rich and famous and be by myself.
Right.
So I determined that last year, and I linked up with Ant, who's been doing his thing. He's got numerous placements. I got numerous placements, and we kind of just joined forces under something he created. So Art by Sound was his baby.
Okay.
And I jumped on
Art by
as like
Sound is the label.
Is the label, yeah. And I jumped on as kind of like creative director and the first like artist under the label, right? And so from there, me and him were just working with each other, and we were like, you know what I'm saying? We know these talented artists. We come across them all the time. And I came across Joel at a local show. I was just going out to support some friends, and I saw him sing, and I was like, bet, like we're gonna recruit him.
Okay.
And then Hi Alex, I met her on Twitter. She was just like a mutual friend who came to some Slide Thru events.
Is so nice.
And she's an incredible singer. She's so passionate about what she does.
Yes, I
and
can
both
hear
of them,
it.
like their range and their talent, and they're great songwriters.
And they compliment you, like they compliment your sound, and I feel like that's what really makes songs go mainstream. Like hearing Janae Aiko or somebody like compliment like a hip hop artist, like that sounds. Ooh, that just sounds
exactly like we pair so well together, and their voices complement mine, and they complement each other. And so on songs like Take It Back and Options and Bandito, I was able to fold them into my existing sound and make much better songs because they're just incredible singers in their own right.
Okay, you with having them as a label, have you ever thought about like partnering with like a bigger label, or like who would you? Well, you kind of, I'm not gonna say you have to because times are changing now, but if you had to partner with a major label, even if it was just distribution, like who do you think you would partner with?
That's a good question. I like what Love Renaissance is doing.
I can see that for you.
Huge. Yeah, and it would be perfect fit. Like all I talk about is love, and that's kind of what they do.
And then like the aesthetics and everything, like so on point.
Exactly. So I would love to partner with them at some point. But ultimately, when it comes down to for us is just maintaining creative freedom. We're very particular about everything we put out. As you mentioned, like just details is important to us. And so we're working on Hi Alex's project rolled out right now, and I just shot her cover art and like, so this is we're all in house with everything we're doing. And
we gotta chop it up with her actually.
We got to. She's amazing. She produces her own stuff, and yeah, we'll get her on here too. But she's incredible, and so like we want everything we create for our artists to be unique and to be you know branded to them and the type of person they are. And rollouts are important to us. My rollout is ongoing and will be ongoing for the rest of the year. So like it's a big deal to us, presentation, execution. And so any partner who understands that and brings more resources to the table, like we're all game. But it's just creativity for us.
I love how you said that the rollout will last the entire year. Love that because the attention span is so short now, and people only think of like, okay, well, I'm just gonna do a couple interviews, drop the project, and have a release party, and then that's just supposed to be it. Like the way life is going right now, with people's attention spans being the size of an ant, I'm so glad you said rollouts. Yo, you got a joint with Michael Aristotle.
I do.
Yes. How'd y'all link up on that one?
So we've been like. It's been a mutual respect thing for a while, both of us being in Atlanta and coming up, and I've seen the huge things he's done. He worked with Missy Elliott, and he just like, he put together an incredible project with Almost There. Incredible. Check Myself is my favorite song, by the way, y'all listen to that. But like, I guess just in the process of making songs and deciding that, okay, now it's time for me to collaborate more. I determined, okay, who in this city is good enough and like of
your caliber,
of my caliber. Like I have to find people who are gonna get on my songs and do a good job. Like collaborate with just anybody.
My man is of quality.
Quality only. So like I linked up with him because of that. I had the song. Beeper was our second collab actually. My song Meditate Remix is the first collab with Michael Aristotle. It's incredible. And I make these songs and I'm like, okay, who would compliment it? What their style is? Like that comes to mind. The type of lyrics they use, the way they talk about women even is important to me.
Right.
And so like I set rules sometimes for features. It's like don't call women out of their names. Like no excessive cursing. Like sometimes you have to just fit the vibe of the song. And good artists know that. And so with Michael Aristotle, he just gets it. He gets how to write on a certain song to fit that artist and to fold into their existing style. So we killed it, knocked it out the park with Beeper, and we actually have an upcoming joint, Options remix with him too.
That's gonna be hard. Y'all gotta go check out Options. That was like the lead single on your project. Y'all have to go check that out. And now I'm really excited about the remix.
Him and T-Mason are on that. So like we kind of just
that's lit.
Yeah. And I got a song with T-Mason, Level, that came out right after Beeper. So like I'm kind of just like, okay, I tested these artists. They're great on these songs. Now let's put them on the same song. And it's like, I keep messing with people and working with people who get it and are really talented in their own right.
Okay, send me that Options remix as soon as it drops.
Oh yeah, absolutely, as soon as it drops.
Hey, okay, so you from Atlanta. What side of town of Atlanta you from?
Okay, so I have a confession. I'm not technically from Atlanta. I'm a military kid.
Okay.
A lot of moving around, but I've been here so long and I feel like an ATLian. But I live in Buckhead right now.
Okay.
I used to live in Marietta.
Okay.
I lived in Bankhead. So
Okay.
I've been all over this city, and I'm very familiar with the zones, the parts of the city. But I don't have any. I don't have any. I guess loyalties to a certain part of the city.
Got you. Okay.
So yeah.
So basically, he ain't slime. Okay.
Yeah, nah. I can't rep. But I love Atlanta. Like I loved it. I've loved all my time here, from the good to the bad, like all of it.
Okay.
So I'm still here. I love it.
Okay, well, I'm glad you love Atlanta.
Yeah.
Welcome. Even though you've been here for a while.
Oh, for sure.
So, why you talk about love so much? Like you just a sap ass nigga? Is you like a hopeless romantic? Like, did you get your heart broke? Like, are you like really a hard nigga, but you want people to, you want to give off that you soft? Like, what is it?
It's a good question. That's a good question. It's all of the above. And what I mean by that is I had my heart broke years ago, and I started writing songs about love. Like my first really big song is called FYF. It's called Fuck Your Feelings, and it's just a bitter anthem about a girl that broke my heart, right? And it just popped. Like I've never connected with my fans in that way. To this day, it's a super popular song, and so it's that, but also the fact that when you're rapping for years and you're talking about how much better you are than other rappers and how much shit you got and just materialistic raps, and that stuff is fun and it's relatively easy to do.
Pretty much so.
I didn't feel like that was me. You know what I'm saying? I'm from the suburbs. Like I'm not hard. Like I'm not that person. And so for me to like continue to stunt for years, it makes songs harder to write at a certain point.
Because you're not being true to yourself.
Yeah, you run out of material. It's like I've talked about that in 19 other songs. I'm bored. So like I had to drift into a lane where.
So you were one of those artists.
I was definitely one of those artists for a long time, and I cussed a lot more. I called women out of their names. I was doing all that shit that other artists do. And if that's what they're from and that's what the content they relate to and that's what they're raised around, then do you. But what works for me is to talk about love, relationships, life, heartbreak, because that stuff, I can write songs about that forever. And I'll never run out of material. I'll never run out of like the passion that fuels it. And there's always a new angle I can take on it. You know what I'm saying? So that's what made me make the decision. And since I did that, I'm able to make entire albums about love. And it doesn't feel like I'm like hitting you over the head about it because there's so many different angles to it.
Right.
Like, Tomorrow May Not Come is entirely about love. Levitate is entirely about love. I've written 2 albums now that are entirely about one topic, but there's so many angles you can attack.
Because love is like multifaceted.
It's everything,
Like love is like, it's not subjective. You can't really, I mean, it's a dictionary version of it, but
Right,
so many
right.
people describe it or identify it differently. So
Yeah.
that's so beautiful.
Oh man, I appreciate that.
What do you have coming up next?
Coming up next, I'm working as a label. We're working on High Alex's rollout. Joel's expected in late fall as well. So this is like their first like legitimate, project. So we're working hard on those. But also for me, I'm putting out a deluxe album of Tomorrow May Not Come. I got some songs that got cut off.
This is the year of the deluxe.
Oh yes, it is the year of the deluxe. So you gotta jump on the train. So along with the deluxe version and the options remix, there's a lot of music videos. Like I'm filming the music videos, starting with options for every hard track, if not every track on the album.
I mean, you got the equipment.
Exactly. So I'm doing as many videos as I possibly can, and I also want to do live shows as well.
Okay. Oh, I can't wait to see how you do the live shows, especially in COVID. I feel like COVID is bringing out the creativity in everyone.
I've seen some incredible stuff already, and I'm like, I have to raise the bar or at least meet the bar that everybody else is setting. So I'm excited about that.
Most definitely. Okay, and then let everybody know where they can find you on social media.
For sure. Follow me on Instagram at camjames.wave, Twitter at camjameswave. That's wave without an E. And just follow me on Spotify. Follow me on Apple Music, however you get your music. I'm everywhere. So check out Tomorrow May Not Come.
Okay, camjames.wave, because he created the wave, not org, not OST, not whatever else y'all be using. And I'm Teacup. Y'all can catch me on IG and Twitter. That's TEAACUPP_. Make sure y'all subscribe to Spill the Tea TV. Let me know who y'all want to see next. And thank you so much for coming by.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me. For real.
Yeah, and we out.